Hello and welcome back to the Joyful Soul Creates. Lady Joyful here, and today I have the second video in my Easter series for this year. For this video I'm using an image from Mariko Creations, and this is actually the image for our latest challenge over at the Mariko Challenge, which is linked down below. So this is Petals the unicorn, and she has bunny ears for Easter. So I'm going to start by colouring her in. I'm using a combination of Yosoo alcohol marker and Noir Illustrator markers. So I'm starting by laying in my shadows with my darkest grey, and then going in with the lighter grey for my mid-tone, and using my blender pen to blend out to white because I wanted to have white bunny ears. The unicorn herself will also be white, but I decided I didn't want to give her brown ears or bunny ears or anything like that. I thought white would be nice, it wouldn't bring in too much extra colour. So then I'm colouring in the inner portions of the ears pink, and you can see all the colours, the caps are on screen. So if you want to know what colours I'm using, they are there. I will colour in her eyes with some blues, and I'm kind of putting the shadows in almost like diagonally and then filling in with the light colour. There are highlights drawn in to the image of the eyes, and you could add those back in with a white gel pen, but I didn't remember to do that. I coloured the inner ears and the hearts on her feet the same way as I had done the bunny ears, and then I'm going in and adding shading to the rest of her body with the same greys I'd used on the bunny ears as well. So again, I'm putting my darkest greys first, going in with my lighter grey to blend it out, and then blending it out even further with my blender pen. And I generally find it easiest to use the bullet tip of blender pen, especially when I'm trying to blend out to white. I just find it has a bit more control. I'm using the same pinks again to colour in her nose. I added some shading under her nostrils and onto the left hand side. And generally when I colour images, my shadings tend to be on the left hand side. I have my lighting come from the right or the right, usually. Sometimes I change that up if there's a particular light source obviously in the image, but most of the time that's what I go with. So I brought the pinks back in again for her tail, and I'm using flicking motions to put those in. And then for the flowers, I decided I would go with a kind of teal blue almost. This is sky blue, and I only have one shade in this colour family, so in order to get the right amount of shading, I left a white space where the highlight would be, so I didn't colour right up to the edge. I then used my blender pen to blend that out into the white, and then I went back in with the colour to add the shading. And for the centres of the flowers, I am using the same blues that I had used on her eyes. I will also use these same blues to colour in the last portion of her tail. And then I missed a little bit of the pink, so I just add that back in. And then I'm going to colour in her mane. Here again I'm going with the pinks and the blues, but where on the tail I had done mostly pink, on her mane I'm doing the opposite and going with mostly blue, just to help balance out the colours a bit. Then I need to colour in the leaves that are with the flowers. That's the last thing that needs colouring. I decided to use bamboo, which is the lightest dark green I have, and I am again using my blender pen to blend it out. It's a bit darker than the ice blue was, so it doesn't blend out quite as well as I would have liked. So what I decided to do was I did some tip to tip with the bamboo and my blender pen just to give me a very pale green to help blend everything out. Then I'm moving on to finishing the rest of the card. So first I'm stamping in my sentiment, which is from Simon Says Stamp. It's a Happy Easter sentiment. Then I decided I wanted to stamp some Easter eggs around the image, kind of almost like a wreath. Wreath stamping is pretty popular at the moment. I'm sure you've seen lots of videos doing wreath stamping using the stencil that's been released. I don't have that stencil yet, I haven't managed to get my hands on it. So instead I'm doing it the old-fashioned way, which is drawing around a circle die very lightly with a pencil, and then I'm rubbing it out slightly with a eraser just to make it even lighter. You can't quite see it on camera anymore, but I could just about see it. I will then stamp my Easter eggs on, and these are again from Simon Says Stamp. They're very small little eggs, and as I don't have a small acrylic block, I'm actually using a lid from a little ink cube. I find that's the easiest way to use these tiny stamps rather than using a block that's much too big. So I stamped first with Frosty Pink. All these inks are Altenew dye inks, and then I have alternated so that it's Frosty Pink and then Mountain Mist as my kind of teal colour ones. Then I'm adding my next layer, which is, for the pink ones I'm using Coral Berry and I'm making them kind of dotty eggs, and then for the teal ones I have Volcano Lake, and these eggs are stripy and the layers are quite easy to get together. I didn't get it perfectly everywhere, but it was close enough. I noticed I hadn't coloured in the horns, so I just added some shading with lightest grey to do that. And then I felt the bottom of the card was missing something, so I found this striped stamp from the Simon Says stamp, I think it was CRAFTY Friends stamp set, and I stamped that with Ocean Waves ink, I believe it was. And I'm just using my Sharpie fine liner to add lines on either side of that, just to help it look more complete, which finishes that card. If you'd like to see the rest of the cards in my Easter series, there's a link for them here. The subscribe button is on screen and the like button is down below. All the products used in today's video are down below, as well as my social media and blog link, and I would love to hear from you in the comments if you have any questions or anything you want to say to me. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Bye!